But I'd like now to introduce Gianni, our head of ops, to talk about the how we deal with the network complexity, stability, and so on for the summer. Gianni.
Okay, good morning again. And we spoke yesterday about the need for all the actors to participate and to take their own responsibility and to perform any action thinking about not only own garden but also the network. So this presentation is called Managing Summer 2019 Together, Collaboration and Discipline. I'm not talking about discipline of a stick, of course, but it's about own discipline, the own way, own responsibility. So can I use this? No, this one. But it happens only with me, so that's okay. Okay, so let's start with a problem that is ongoing since a long time and is quite annoying for the controllers and also in some way for us. So, and it's about flight plan adherence. We have debated yesterday, and this is one of the things for which we will ask own responsibility. So the color, the blue or purple, is the flight planning route. The blue sector is a regulated sector that is giving delays, but the flight planning is avoiding the sector. But then, during the current, maybe the pilot tasked or the controller sent it straight, but the red route is the one that is flown. So this flight became, and not an intruder, but again, it was a nice definition from Eric yesterday, unanticipated guest, but still a guest, but in some way. But again, this is happening daily, many times, for different reasons. To avoid the regulation, because of other reasons, we'll see. So, again, the problem is ongoing since many years. It doesn't work. It works. It's in our table since 8 years. It first was done in 2010, a flight level adherence days, then followed by a study, benefits of improved predictability following the flight plan adherence, and then another workshop, Flight on the FPL predictability action plan that was resulted and approved at the end of. But progress quite limited. Why? This is in the culture of aircraft operators, of pilots, and in the culture of controllers. So it's a kind pointing at each other. No, it's the controller that authorized us at that level. The controller authorized that. The controller say no, but the pilot asked. Then at the end, there is a flight plan, and it must be followed. Let's look at the yo-yo situation. Yo-yo flights are flights who are in the middle of their cruise level, then for some reason they descend to level 230, 240, and then have to climb again. I don't think that there is somebody here, please raise your hand, who had the experience of climbing a cruise level, then descending for other reason, then climbing again. I don't think that somebody here had this experience in the past. Me, never. Anyway, this is the famous sector X regulated with delays. The purple is the flight plan trajectory by flight plan. So this, of course, is a real flight. This flight climbed to level 190, then decided in the flight plan to descend to avoid the sector X regulation and the delay, and then to climb again to the cruise flight level, more or less 350. Obviously, the red route is the actual trajectory. The flight never followed that profile, of course, but it became another unanticipated guest, uninvited guest into the sector X. So this is something that happens often. In a normal network context, when we don't have much delays, this is okay. It's fine. It's in the nature of things. But in a context like the network that we experienced last year and will experience this year, this is not good. So it shall be avoided at all times. So we have done some job. Chris Bowman and Boris Radovanovic held a group that met for a couple of years. Eventually, it ended up with a software that will catch up all the flights that are filing this way. Of course, we cannot say to the airline, no, don't do that. Don't do this. But again, if you do it, if you fly plan this way, please at least follow what you have done. This is a bit jump in the queue. When you are boarding at a gate sometimes, and there is always the straight guy that you are there queuing, and then somebody stands up and then arrives straight at the end. How do you feel? You don't feel right. It's a social, it's a way of living together, in some way respecting certain rules. This is jump in the queue. What else? Because all the others are regulated and follow the flight plan and get the delay. This guy did not. Intentionally, not intentionally, not up to me to say, but that's what happens. So this is the next matter that will be tackled. Sorry, say again, please check out the stand outside on what we did for the yo-yo. A kind of solution. The next problem that is quite annoying as well is the sharp turn angle routes. Now, this happens whenever there are RAD measures that are quite complex and the life of the dispatcher becomes quite difficult. So they cannot find the shortest possible route. And so we appear, the FPL trajectory that you will see is in purple and the actual is always in red. And so we have experienced some monsters. So you see, this is the purple is the flight planning route, and then obviously the actual, or the pilot has to go straight, or the controller said, why you want to go that way? So go straight, okay. So the next one is this. I don't know. I have no comments. Maybe the pilot wanted to see some other area from top and make some pictures, and then I go back to the destination. Maybe. But look at this one. This is even worse. So this was the straight one that was flown in a different way longer. Then he planned to go this way. Then, I don't know, this way. Then a tour on the Alps. But this is nonsense, of course. And this is due mainly not because there is a will to fly this way, but only simply because the RAD measures sometimes are really too complex. And even some CFSPs are not capable, or they give us such flight plan and is presented and accepted, because then at the end we have to accept it. We cannot modify the flight plan. But my question is, nobody spotted that, either on the airline or the CFSPs. So this flight plan shall never be sent to the IFPS system. Somebody should look at it. So now I took the mobile because I have a beautiful thing. I'm not doing for to advertise the NM and the IFPS, but again, it's quite nice. I don't say the name of the guy, but on Twitter, I had an issue with the flight plan this morning. I phoned EUROCONTROL. I didn't get the chap's name on the phone, but he was so helpful. He tweaked my flight plan and refiled it for me, and it was good to go. Amazing service. So what I'm saying, when you spot that your system has sent such a flight plan, please call us. We will find the right way for you. We have people at IFPS that are there, or the aircraft operator liaison office that are doing just the job. Okay, so I don't want to take longer about this. So the next is, we need you. Then at the end, all the actors must do their own job, take their own responsibility. So these are our requests to you. So what can you do to help the situation? And now, let's see. What we ask flight dispatchers. The first thing, if this works, so file reliable flight plan with particular attention to the cruise flight level. If you file the flight plan with the requested final level at 350, stick to 350. Don't go 36 or 38, whatever the controllers offer you, or if you don't want to do, if you want to do it on your own, on any other problem. File the reliable flight level. Avoid the yo-yo vertical profiles to avoid the regulation. If you want to avoid the regulation, if you want to file a yo-yo, at least follow what you have filed. Please remember that any flight that deviates from the original flight plan in this context can be a danger, can be hampering safety, because that flight can be the last drop in a sector where there are already too many flights and is already over-delivered. Avoid the sharp angles route. Please call us anytime that you spot that flight. Please check your flights, check what you are sending to the IFPS system. And use IPU FPL validation in the NOP portal, quite a useful tool that will give you anyway a hint on how to fly. And keep the OBT updated. This is the time deviation is quite strong. We have already a monster that is the slot window tolerance, -5 + 10. It gives an uncertainty window of 15 minutes. Many NSPs are working with the occupancy count, so looking at how many flights they have on the screen at the same time, and not at the rolling hour, only 20 minutes hour. So don't keep in the OBT updated. The flight will become another unanticipated guest. So what we ask pilots, not this, okay, so we ask pilots to please maintain the flight plan route, the vertical profile that you have filed, unless the deviation is dictated by weather or by ATC needs. The controller may ask you to deviate because of a separation or any other technical issue. So do not ask for direct routes. Again, the entry times in the sector are calculated according to flight plan and to the correlated position reports. So do not ask for direct routes. Again, the entry times in the sector are calculated according to flight plan and to the correlated position reports. So taken from the radar and sent to our system that is updating constantly the flight plan. So any deviation in time will jeopardize the counts in another sector, and that will cause a loss of predictability. Do not call the NMOC to improve a slot from the cockpit. This happens quite often. The pilot calls us, I'm the pilot of flight, I would like, I have a problem, okay, so and go on, and so on. So unless the pilot, of course, is a handler, is a check-in guy, because there are flights, private jets, private flights who, anyway, fly IFR, they are stuck with delay, and of course, in that case, call us, no problem. So what we ask controllers, towers, respect the CTOT slot tolerance window. It's already a big window of unpredictability. It should be -3 + 3. But again, don't let the flight depart 7, 8 minutes before or 20 minutes after the CTOT time. Please respect it. ACC, do not give shortcuts, of course, unless it's dictated by ATC reasons, and because this causes time volatility and again, loss of predictability. ACC, the controller, check the final requested level. You know which is the final requested level. So don't authorize the pilot to deviate from that. Do not propose flight level changes unless you want to make a separation or for any other reason, or for weather, turbulence, or whatsoever. And of course, refuse a level change different from the requested flight level, unless, of course, if not justified by the pilot with a technical reason or weather or any other stuff that is relevant. But just for the wish of or because the pilot changed his mind and now maybe 380 is available, want to fly to 380. No, stick to the RFL. What we ask FMPs, pre-tactical phase, provide us with the most reliable sector configurations, because in our system, the obligation for the NSPs is to tell us and update the configuration when they are more than 2 hours. For me, it should be 20 minutes. But anyway, please tell us at D-1 how many sectors you will have, because that is fundamental for the planning. And if there is a regulation, if you have a sufferance in a sector that is quite big and it happens every week or every weekend, any day at a specific time, and you know that tomorrow it will be there, apply it at D-1. Don't wait the tactical waiting that somebody else applies the regulation and protects you. Because that sector, if there is a high peak for a long time period, it will be regulated tomorrow, and we all know that. So do it at D-1. Our flow staff, I believe I can say without any doubt and any fear that we have the most experienced, the most knowledgeable staff, the best experts in flow management. So I don't think that there is any comparison with any on the NSP. Sorry to say that, but of course, we have the system, we work here. Our staff work constantly for that. So please follow their suggestion whenever you have an issue. Don't impose your decision, but listen to the guy if you have a doubt on the other side, because you will have always the best possible suggestion. As I said yesterday, don't apply a standard regulation if the peak is isolated in your sector and it's just 3 or 4 or 5 flights. Use STAM or a mandatory cherry picking in order to resolve that issue. Do not call us to ask for a slot improvement on behalf of the aircraft operator, unless you need, of course, to improve the slot for your needs over there. Tell them to use the e-help desk. Of course, don't wait the last minute, as Chris said, also for not only for weather, but for any other reason. If you know that you will need a regulation over there, don't wait too much. Don't wait the last 10, 15 minutes, because of course, most of the flights that will be captured by that traffic volume for that regulation are already flying, and you will give higher delays to all the others. Do not use ETFMS just to test. Let's see if this regulation will work with the 1 hour and 10, 20 minutes, and then you call us after 5 minutes to say, no, 1 hour and 40 is fine. So this year, after the workshop we held, we decided in some way to not to impose, we will discuss that at the DSG, but mainly our staff this summer will stop you in case that some parameters are considered wrong by our experts, or if the duration of the regulation is not compliant with what is seen on ETFMS graph or load. So this will happen during the summer. Again, we'll discuss at DSG. There is a new tool to detect volatility. It was presented again to DFS last week, so it works. And so the invited FMPs to use the volatility tool will be able to detect them and then to coordinate the avoidance of the same event occurring again. Okay, so now it's our turn. You ask us, okay, what are you going to do? So this, yesterday somebody asked for what is happening with the stuff. So we will have additional stuff in flow domain. As I said yesterday, a competition for 5 new network operation controller is ongoing, 3 external and 2 post-external. Unfortunately, the only people who will be fully validated before the summer by the 1st of June will be the internal guys. The 3 new controllers that will be recruited externally, they have 9 months probation period here, so they will be valid by the end of the summer. But of course, the summer will be for them a good training pool in order to be stronger and to be able to tackle and to start with this new job. So we are going to review the CASA position layout. We have normally 2 to 3 CASA positions depending on the workload. And the area is split in geographical position, and I don't know, France and Spain, they are in CASA 1, then other countries CASA 2, and then CASA 3. So last year, we had a problem with that because there were certain positions were busier than others. So this year, we have to remove the geographical split whenever it will be necessary, not always. So that will be decided by the operation manager. Whenever there will be the need, we may jump to this thing. So you may call any CASA position, regardless of the button that you have there, or at least you will press a button and any of the network operation controller will answer you. So we may have 1 additional CASA position per shift, all sector 19, all summer 19, considering the 2 new guys that will be validated. Okay, now there is a new tool. There will be more explanation by Dalina and Kwan later on. So the aircraft operator what if reroute is a very useful tool. Normally, if you want to avoid a sector because it's regulated, then you can use this tool and you can ask the system, please give me a different routing without any delay. So, but unfortunately, the previous tool was not giving the information on the possible delay occurring on the new route, on the new profile, and that was quite crazy. So now, from an M23, we will have that. You will see aircraft operator deciding to use this useful tool, will have the chance to check how much is the delay that I will get with the new route, and so they may then consider to reroute the flight or not. Help desk enhancement. Last year, because of the 2,500 requests that we had peak in one day, we dropped 20%. We were not able to answer to 20% of the calls. So that is why we have a new help desk that will be implemented in M23 with certain changes. There will be a queue management, priorities, and of course then also the access for the towers, prioritized access for towers and FMPs. It's English, I'm Italian. Precipitevolissimamente, say that. Okay, so we will reduce the workload for the NMOC and the FMP, of course, because instead of doing the phone call in order to improve the flight or exempt the flight or any other action, so you may use the help desk, a quicker way of contacting the NMOC. Last year with the FMPs, because of the huge number of regulations applied in one day or constantly during the summer, unfortunately, we were not able to answer to 15% of the calls of the FMP. Somebody was calling us in order to do an action, and we were not able to answer because the telephones were ringing everywhere. So, again, automation is the answer. Still, in the 21st century, we are still doing the coordination by phone. So maybe my grandfather was doing the coordination this way. So now we need to have the B2B connection with all the ANSPs. For the moment, we are connected with MUAC, with Maastricht, with the DSNA, with SkyGuide, and with the NAIRE possibly, and we invite all the ANSP present and all the others if there will be one day a deadline for them to connect. But this means B2B connection that you don't need to call the CASA position to ask for a regulation. You will have a template at home that you will fill with the request. If the controller on our side will be okay, everything is fine, pressing a button, the regulation will be in the system, and you will have the acknowledgement immediately. But this will save a lot of time. Normally the phone call takes 2, 3, 5 minutes depending on the number of regulations, the complexity of the request. This will be done almost instantly. So B2B is the answer for ATFM regulation coordination and flight execution, not using the phone. And to conclude, so again, I plead you, once again, before doing any action, please think about it. So the capacity of the network will be less than 2018. This is a fact that is now you are all well aware about that. All the mitigation measures that Razvan described yesterday, that Chris described today for weather, all the package will be anyway implemented before the start of the busy period. The traffic will increase, not at the same extent of the previous year, but still quite consistent. So the ITFM delays will be similar or higher than 2018. We are confident that if all the actors will do what they do, I'm sure that the delays will be less than this year. But we really need to be all together marching on the same direction, rowing in the same ship. Because at the end, we work in the same ship, we are the crew of the same ship, and we serve the passengers then at the end. So let's make sure that you are all doing what we can. Whenever you are in doubt, contact us. Don't make your own action, just on your own only. So we will help further, of course. We are still preparing for miracles, but yet not ready. So the focus will be on volatility, the new monitoring tool, as I said before, new procedures in the ops room, and then, of course, we'll still concentrate on the TFM delay reduction and all the possible support that all the NMOC staff, I can guarantee that the NMOC staff are well aware of what is happening, what happened last year, or what is going to happen this year, and definitely we will help you. And I do hope that will be this year with a different face, with a different attitude, saying that we perform better than last year. Thank you all, and the contribution of the network manager. So thank you very much. With that, thank you.